Okay. So, before moving to for today's topic, what I do as we normally did, first we do a quick recap of our earlier session. What we do in our earlier session, what we did, we discussed the basics of shortlisting. Means we discussed about the resume part, how you need to align your resume as per MNCs or role expectations. So the major takeaway from that part is you need to follow the three-step strategy. Means first you need to read the job description carefully, update your resume accordingly, and then apply. And then another part we discussed related to interviews. We discussed few tips related to interviews, how you need to present yourself or how you need to structure your answers during the interview. Okay, so in that part, today we will go deeper into the record to report, because record to report process is not only the reporting, it's a very wide domain. And record to record domain itself have major three segments. We can say it already have three different parts within the R2R. First, general ledger accounting. Second, intercompany. And the another one, third one is FA and lease, fixed assets and lease. So we can categorize record to report into three different segments or three different subparts. So all these parts is not possible to cover in a single 40-minute session. So we will start from general ledger accounting. As you can see on your screen, today we will discuss record to report foundation in month end close and journal ledger. Means GL part of record to report. Okay. So, and one more thing, if anyone have any question in your mind in between the session, so as we have a very limited time, so what you need to do, you note your query, and in the end of the session, if we have time, I will pick your queries. This call will continue till 8:40, and after 8:40, this call automatically drop or end. Then you will need to log in again for your queries. Okay. So I will try to complete all the parts before 8:40. So without wasting our time, let's start for today's deep dive. First thing, let me move. Yeah. Why R2R is the strongest finance domain? What is the reason behind it? Before we go into process understanding, I want to first understand why R2R matters so much. Because when people understand career value, they pay attention differently. So, why is R2R considering one of the strongest finance domain? Because R2R gives ownership. In AP, many roles are transaction focused, or in AR, most of the roles are collective on majorly focused on collections. But in R2R, you are connecting to financial reporting. Means leadership visibility increase, accountability increase, and growth opportunity also increased. So in companies like Genpact, Accenture, Deloitte, EY, Infosys, Wipro, Capgemini, all these organizations, we can say top MNCs of India, record to report professionals move faster towards analyst role, senior analyst role, AM manager, senior manager, and also transitions into FP&A, controllership, finance manager role. Clear? So remember one line here, R2R is not just a process, it is a long-term financial career pathway. That's why R2R is most important. Okay, now let's understand about R2R. What is R2R? Or we can say normally pupils defined in own terms. Many candidates say R2R means closing and reporting, but that is a very small answer. We can say it's too small. Interviewer answer should be, let me clear a context here. I'm not going into the basics or into the very deep depth. We explain the truth most probably as per the interviewer's expectations, right? So please make understand, like I'm not explaining here generic answers or normal answers. I explain only the answers by the interviewers in MNC's environment, or we can say with the broad level forms of environment. Okay, so many people think record to report is just reporting or closing. So it's very small answer. What is the strong answer as per MNC's interviewers or interview panel's expectation? R2R is the R2R is the end-to-end finance process from recording transactions to producing financial report.
Your voice is not audible
Decision making.
clearly.
Hello, my voice is not.
Voice is not audible,
Hello.
sir, right now.
Okay. So for you only or anyone else, is my voice is audible now?
Yeah, it's clear. Yeah.
Okay. If all things happen, we can move forward. Okay. Now my voice is clearly audible to all.
Yeah, it's clear right now.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So what we are discussing, what is R2R? Means R2R is the end-to-end finance process from recording transactions to producing accurate financial report for decision making and compliances. This is a strong answer as per interviewers' expectations. Means we are not just saying record to report is closing the books or preparing the reports. Okay, so this sound like a strong answer. And what is the key areas are here: data integrity, process control, report accuracy. These are the three key areas here. This means finance is not only posting entries, it is ensuring trust in financial numbers. Okay. Now let's discuss a bit about end-to-end R2R process flow. What is R2R end-to-end process flow? Transactions happens. What are the transactions happens in record to report? Normally we record journal entries, month end close, trial balance, financial reporting, analysis and management decisions. Means this is the flow. Simple question here. If one wrong journal is posted, can final report become wrong? Just think with me. If one wrong journal is posted, can final report becomes wrong? Yes or no? Just think, not reply. Yes. That is why even small activity in R2R have big business impact. Clear? Let's discuss month end close. what is month end close and what is the month end close real pressure. Now, this is where this is where interviews are won or lost. Both things happen here. Month end close means at the end of every month, financial teams ensure what ensure all transactions are recorded, accruals are posted, prepayments are adjusted, reconciliations are completed, balances are finalized, and reporting is ready. That means month end close. Typically, we can say typical timeline looks like day one, what we do during day one, data collections, day two or three, reconciliations, day four, on the day five, reports, and sign off the reporting. Clear? This is where discipline matters. That's why MNC interviews have a very high standard. Okay. One more thing, I also want to brief a bit about month end close pressure. What is the month end close pressure? In MNCs, deadlines are very strict. Delayed journals impact leadership reporting. Late reconciliations trigger escalations. Open items increase audit risk as well. So, R2R means month end pressure. Most of the work, we can say 60 to 80% of the record to report work are done during the month end period, means from day 1 to day 5. And what is this day 1 to day 5? These are the month end week. We can say during the month end we have a separate 5 days week, and most of the activities are performed during that period, means during month end. So record to report is focused on month end specifically. Okay. So let's discuss about journals, and most of the people are know about the journals. So what is journal entry? This is where many interviewers become difficult. It's a very simple thing, but critical during the interviews. Most of the people say I post journals or I prepare journals. It's a very weak answer. You need to explain your journal answer like I ensure accurate financial reporting through manual and automated journal entries with approval and proper supporting documentation. Means instead of just saying I post journals or I prepare journals, you need to show the logic behind the journals. You need to show the metrics behind the journals. You need to include the MNC language, also include approvals and supporting documents, or even you can include audit ready supporting documents. Okay. So what are the type of journals generally posted in record to report? Manual journal means normal journal entries, system generated entries, accruals journals, reversal entries, or reclass entries, and provision entries. We will discuss these going forward. Every manual journal entry must have three major points for journal point of view. Every manual journal must have documentation, means proper documentation, proper approval, and audit trail, because finance is based on evidence, not assumptions. We can say it's uh, like our law. It's need evidences. Okay, so let's move towards the next topic, and we will discuss the journals in details. Before discuss the journals, there is a common interview trap. And what is the common interview trap here? Difference between accruals and provisions. Most of the times this question asked during the interview. Simple answer: Accruals means expenses incurred but invoice or payment pending. This is a very simple answer for understanding purpose. What is accrual? Accrual means the expenses incurred but not paid, or we can say but not invoiced. Clear? Like we can take any example: electricity used in March, bill comes in April. Okay. And what is the provision? Provision is a future expected liability. Means accrual and what is the difference between accruals and provision? We understand accrual. Now what is provision? Provision is a future expected liability without uncertainty, means it may be happen or may not. Clear? Just understand this thing. It's a very confusing point during the interview. So, and if I any example for provision, so expected legal claims or bonus provisions. These are the type of example for the provisions. And one another question: when you do reverse accruals, this is a question. Think with me. When you do reverse accruals, just think a bit here.
Month end reversal.
Okay, let me explain. When actual invoices is posted in the next period, temporary accruals is reversed to avoid double booking. I'm not going into the depth, but let me brief quickly. When you will reverse the accruals, sorry, when you post accrual before happening, and when you reverse the accrual when actual expenses is booked into the system, then you need to reverse the accrual. Why? Because to avoid the double entry booking, to avoid the duplication. Clear? Now move towards the depth: accrual and prepayments. Accrual and prepayments are very common and very important. Accruals means expenses recognized before payment happens. Example: salary expenses accrued before payday, means actual payday. Same for prepayments. What is prepayments? Prepayment made first, means expenses recognized later. Clear? Prepay, pay in advance. Okay, just for basic understanding. For example, we can say 3 months advance rent paid. So it's a prepayment. We have paid in advance. We have paid in before happening the expenses. Clear? So what is interviewers expect here for this answer? Interviewers ask this because they want to test period accuracy understanding. Did you have the understanding of period accuracy? In which period you need to post the particular expenses? Clear? Now, approvals, and I think I jump toward the next slide. Okay. Accruals and prepayments, we already discussed. Reclass and provisions. What is reclass? Reclass means to move the GL balances to the correct GL balances. Means in system, if we are moving the GL balances from one GL to another GL, it calls reclass journal. Clear? For example, expenses booked in wrong cost center, so we need to move it to another cost center. If we go into the depth, reclass can be can have the different layers for GL reclass, for cost center reclass for profit center reclass. Okay. So the basic meaning of the reclassification is just moving the GLs or GL balances from one to another. Okay. And same for the provision. We already discussed about the provisions. Okay. Now we need to move toward the main important thing, trial balance. What is trial balance? Majority of the questions or majority of the candidates are fail on that question. If trial balance doesn't match, what will you do? I'm explaining straight away because we haven't enough time. A strong answer you need to explain like in a in a how. First, check suspense account, review recent journals, verify sorry verify interface failures. Interface failures means recent errors. Compare subledger versus GL and validate adjustments. Means instead just saying we will match the trial balance by suspense account, it's not enough. You need to show the flow, how you reconcile your trial balance or how you match your trial balance. Okay. Now move towards the next approval matrix. What is approval matrix? Oh, sorry. Okay. We need to move towards approval matrix because it's very important thing. It's short but important. What is approval matrix? Approval matrix means who prepare, who review, and who approve. They are the three different things. Means preparer, reviewer, and approver. This ensure segregation of duties. Means duties are segregate into the three different layers to maintain the accuracy. Clear? This is the approval matrix. Most of the organizations follow the same strategy. Okay. So this ensures segregation of duties. No single person should control full transaction flow. That's why approval matrix exists. Clear? And what is audit trail? I'm explaining these basic things so that you will be able to relate or you will be able to explain these things during the interviews. What is audit trail here? Audit trail means complete transaction history. Why you post the document? What is the basic source of the journal? Means you need to ensure the complete documentation. Clear? When auditors ask who post this journal, you should know the answer. When auditor asks who approved, you also have the proper answer. When it is changed, means when it is changed, the timing of change, audit trial gives your answers. And it's a very critical things here in MNCs. Okay. And now move towards GL ownership mindset. It's very important. This is where candidate start sounding senior. GL ownership means not just doing task, but taking accountability. So your responsibility. Interviewers love ownership examples. If you try to explain, if you try to show the ownership during the interview, interviewers love that examples. And how you can say, you say, I identified issues, I resolved discrepancies, I improved close process. That create trust. Clear? means that is the way to show your ownership, GL ownership for a specific general ledger. Okay, how to explain your R2R role in interviews? Very important thing. If interviewer asks, tell me about your R2R experience, how you need to respond, never answer randomly. Use a clear structured answers. How? First you need to explain your role, then responsibilities, after that achievements, and then business impact. Clearly understand the flow. Role, responsibilities, achievement, sorry, achievements and business impact. Guys, today's my voice is cracking a bit because I have a neck infection a bit. So don't worry. I'm trying to speak with full flow. So please try to understand the flow. During explaining your role, you need to follow the 4-step strategy for explaining your previous role or explaining your R2R role. First, you need to explain role, then responsibility, achievement, and business impact. It's very important. Now, we will move towards the next point, common R2R interview mistakes. What are the mistakes candidates generally do during the interviews? Or you need to avoid these things. First, explaining task, not impact. Most of the candidates explain only task, but you need to explain the impact, the logic behind the task. No ownership, but you need to show the ownership. Weak reconciliation, understanding. You need to show the strong understanding. No matrix. You need to show the matrix means numbers. Or pupils generally reply randomly. Randomly, you need to structure your answers as per the star methodology. I have explained the star method many times, and going forward, I will also explain whenever I get a chance. Okay, so these are the common mistake. You need to avoid these mistakes during the interview. Point and the next point is simple answer framework. And what is the simple answer framework? You can clearly read on the screen. I have the separate segment as per the experience level 0 to 2, 3 to 6 years, and more than 6 years. Means if you are initially you start your R2R career or you start your even accounting career, you need to show the execution and control. And then for a middle level, you need to show ownership and stakeholder management. And for senior level, you need to show all governance, risk, or business pertaining, including all these we cover at initial levels. Okay, so you can just click a snip here, or you can take a pic. Now, because we have a very short time, so I need to move. What top MNCs interviewers check? I think I explained this many times, but for those people who are comes first time, there are the most probably 4 to 5 things interviewers check. Whatever questions interviewers ask during the interview, the logic behind these questions, the thinking behind these questions is they want to understand process depth, ownership, risk awareness, communication level,